Share via email. Report story. By Butterdurk. It's not weird to think that girls agree on many things regarding the aesthetic nature of the opposite gender. Hot abs, sharp facial features, cute face, tall figure, and magnetic eyes were among the things that girls find attractive, so it is not surprising that Todoroki Shoto made the number 1 spot on the cutest guy in Class 1A list. What is surprising though, is that Izuku, Deku, Midoriya got 1 vote. School day was finally over. It had been a long lazy day of not doing much for everyone. Aizawa and his sleeping bag had left the classroom of Class 1A already, and for some reason the girls had left as well. Man, today was such a waste of time, Kirishima said as he took a seat next to Kaminari, stretching his arms and legs as he yawned. It was customary for the boys to stay in the classroom and chat for a while after class was over. It was fun to talk about whatever funny thing had happened during the day, or even discussing their homework and other things of the same nature. Did you guys notice how weird the girls were acting today? Denki asked as if it was the most mysterious thing ever. It's almost as if they wanted to hide something from us. I'm not surprised girls want to hide themselves from you, Pikachu, Ciro replied with a little laugh as he sat down next to the other boys. All the boys laughed at the comment and dragged some chairs close so that they could chat more comfortably. Now that you mention it, Yaoyorozu was less talkative than usual. She seemed flustered for some reason, Todoroki commented in his usual soft voice. Uraraka-san was acting weird too. She didn't even get lunch with Iida and me. She sat with the other girls and would avoid my gaze when I looked at her, said Midoriya with a hint of worry in his voice. You guys think the girls are planning to pull a prank on us? That's the only explanation possible, declared Sato as he rose from his seat. Mina's probably behind this. Yeah, she's probably trying to get all the girls together so they can mock us in some way. Kirishima said as he too rose from his seat. Unacceptable. I can't believe our dear female classmates could be plotting together to pull such a nefarious act on us. Iida agreed for some reason, worried that the girls could in fact be trying to pull a prank on them. As the boys decided to plot against them, someone came running through the door and slammed it shut. Guys! 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 Mineta screamed while panting frantically. He had something, a piece of paper in his hands, which he seemed to be holding as if his life depended on it. Mineta, what's the matter? Why are you so exalted? Said Deku as he rushed from his seat to grab the little man by his shoulders. Come here everyone, gather round me for the greatest revelation of the century. Mineta again screamed as he released himself from Deku's grasp and came to the center of the classroom. Is this in any way related to the mysterious way the girls have been acting? Or related to that paper in your hand? Todoroki, as unamused as he looked, had already cracked the puzzle. Indeed, my hot and cold fella, Mineta said as he raised the paper for all to see. This paper, this very paper right here, will determine our fate as a class. He was probably over exaggerating, but all the boys crowded round him anyway. This is the class girl's submission for cutest boy in Class 1A. Mineta declared triumphantly. There was a long sudden silence, before someone finally spoke. Promoted stories. You'll also like. Convicted Hearts 3700 like my other story but ILI longer. Much needed love Yandere Succubus Momo X Izu. 51.5K809 after Wattpad. Had decided to delete this story out of nowhere, I and many reader were distraught. So I'm making a remake of the story from the ground up to compensate. After all, Homefluke 11.4K802. Will edit once I'm free. N. This is a work of fiction, and any similarity with other works is purely coincidental. Excuse grammatical errors and misspellings, Eng. Not all heroes wear capes. Some just have 8.42.8K 1.4 kilo. Everybody. This is a suicidal, depressed Deku book with Dadmic. Will their bond grow? Will Mike fuck up? Will Izuku try to kill himself? Find out yourself. Number 1 Radio. The Kings and Queen Yandere Wakfu X Reader 57.5K 1.8 Kyonder. Wakfu X Reader. Images do not belong to me unless stated. Wakfu does not belong to me, it belongs to Enigma. This is being rewritten in another book on my profile. Hurt cuz I love you to death Izuocha. Ha. 8.7K 141 Class 1A is now Class 2A and is working to be better heroes due to events that had happened before. Deku has gotten strong feelings toward Uraraka during the summer as free. Oni Shots 149K3K. This is a collections of free X readers. Requests on this are now closed. Let me see that. Kaminari yelled, and the classroom became a war zone. Dash 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 dot. It had been a hard day for all the girls in Class 1A. Their usual calm days had been changed suddenly when they discovered all the girls in school had decided to vote for cutest boy in Class 1A. Most girls in school didn't have any problem choosing who was the cutest. After all, it seemed they only had eyes for Shoto Todoroki. And for a good reason, however. The girls of 1A knew the boys better, and the way they looked at them was way deeper than anyone ever could. Girls, we should vote too, Toru said in her usual cheerful way. By the looks of her clothing, she was jumping in excitement. Yeah, Mina exclaimed as well. It is a perfect chance to finally decide who the cutest boy in our class is. Don't you think it's a bit rude to classify the boys in our class as if they were a bunch of kittens? It may hurt their self-esteem. Momo looked at the girls with a concerned look. Ah, come on Momo, don't be such a party pooper. Most girls said in unison. Uraraka. You agree with this? Momo couldn't believe that even a girl as good and pure as Uraraka wanted to participate, and Yusuyu. You two want to vote. I want to see where this is going. Hiro, Sue said with her usual uninterested wide-eyed look. Tough, I know who you girls most voting are for. Okay, but if we're to do this, I'll write down all the votes. Momo was very serious. And you'll have to say your vote out loud. The dorms went silent. The girls became nervous at the thought of revealing who they considered cute. Okay, the girls said in unison. I'm glad none of the teachers gave us homework for the weekend. Now I have extra time to give myself a good old rub, Mineta thought as he made his way to the Class 1A dorms. Mineta really wasn't interested on what the boys could chat in the classroom, so he never stayed with them after class, especially today, since the girls were acting stranger than usual. The girls had been acting weird all morning and they had left earlier when the boys were starting to chat. As he approached the dorms, he heard many voices. It seemed that the girls were arguing about something. Like the good pervert he was, he decided to come closer and spy on them through the hall door. Come on, Ochako-chan, spill the beans, he heard Suyu's voice on the other side. Who are you voting for? Vote. What are they voting for? He thought, even more intrigued now. Yaura-san. Only you and Momo haven't voted yet. Mina's voice joined. They were trying to get some information from Uraraka. Deku. I vote for Deku. Uraraka screamed. What are they voting for? Mineta grew anxious. There was a little silence before the girls started cheering in unison. I knew it, said every voice in the room. It took them a while for they to calm down. I already wrote my vote on the list, Momo said. Hey, it's not fair. We all had to tell you who we considered cutest boy in class, and you just wrote your vote without telling us. Even poor Uraraka had the nerve to declare how cute Deku is. Mina sounded upset. She voted for Todoroki. Kiro, Suyu replied almost instantly. How did you know? Momo said defensively. I didn't, but now you admitted it. There was again a loud cheer. After it ended, Jiro spoke up. I'm hungry. Let's go out to eat something before we turn in our votes. Mineta was in utter disbelief. Had the girls gone mad? How could they do such a thing? How could Momo not vote for him? After everyone left, he entered the room feeling defeated, until he saw it, the list, lying on the sofa. He doesn't regret anything. Back to the present. Everyone. Calm down. Everyone was trying to get their hands on the list. Only Deku seemed to be more concerned about his classmates not killing each other over a piece of paper. In the chaos, finally Todoroki managed to get the piece of paper for himself. He made a little ice wall between him and his classmates before telling them how things were going to be. All right, everyone. Calm down, he said in his usual non-interested voice. Mineta, come here, I'm going to tell the votes to everyone, and you'll say who voted for who. Mineta agreed with a small nod and went next to Todoroki, who melted his ice wall. How did you even get a hold of that list, Mineta? I doubt the girls would even let you close to it, Zero told the little man with a grin on his face. Haha, very funny, Zero. I actually took it after they left to get lunch, Mineta declared before turning to Todoroki again. Hurry, Icy, we need to see this before they come back. He simply muttered. All right, everyone, gather round me. In a matter of seconds, all the boys made a circle around Todoroki and stood in complete silence as he started to read the votes out loud. Alright, so, just so you guys know there are only 5 votes in this list, and I have 2. I guess that makes me the winner, Todoroki said, almost as uninterested as he was whenever he spoke to his father. I know who voted for you. One is from Mina, and Mineta sniffed, and the other is from Momo, he said in a low voice. As if someone had launched a tomato to his face, Todoroki became red. He didn't expect his crush to vote for him. Todoroki, you lucky dog, said Sato, feeling both envious and proud of his friend. Yeah, well, who fucking cares? Keep reading half and half. Bakugo had suddenly introduced himself to the conversation. Todoroki raised a hand in a sign of stop. Before I continue, I'll just say the names of those who didn't get any votes. He cleared his throat and started listing. 0. Zero sat down looking disappointed. Aw man. Shoji. The big man wasn't surprised, and he didn't care too much. Koda. He's not here, he went to take care of his pet rabbit, Deku told him. Alright, next, Sato. Sato sat next to Zero, looking defeated. He got the honorable mention of sweetest guy in class though. Sato got up with a little smile. I'll make some cookies to celebrate. The sugar man said as he left the room, and directed himself to the store to get his baking supplies. Mineta. It hurts, cried the great boy. Iida got all the votes for best class rep. Iida smiled proudly and said nothing else. And surprising no one, Bakugo. What did you say? What do you mean I have no votes? Bakugo exploded in anger. Yeah, that's not a surprise, you're not bad looking, but with that temper you couldn't even attract a donkey. Zero gave out a big laugh. Shut up TAPEFACE, I'll murder you. Bakugo, it is inappropriate to yell in the school's classroom. Iida played his role as representative and told him to calm down. Bakugo suddenly dropped his voice. Whatever, those bitches wouldn't know true beauty even if it exploded their faces. Bakugo made his way out of the classrooms into the dorms. It's not like I even care. He slammed the door shut and disappeared. Well, now that that's over, let's say the votes, Shoto said, grabbing everyone's attention again. For some reason there are 7 votes. Mina voted twice, once for you and once for Kirishima, Mineta told him, sounding even more defeated. I know I could trust my horn buddy. Kirishima said gleefully, rising his fist up. Tokiyami has 1 vote. Suyu probably, she likes to make Tokiyami act like he wasn't such an edgelord. It made effect, Tokiyami blushed lightly. Ojiro has 1, obviously from Toru. That girl is going to be the end of me, said Ojiro as he scratched his cheek. Kaminari has 1. I don't know who that is from. Juro, she's the only one who could consider Pikachu attractive. Kaminari was for some reason surprised. He didn't say anything and just blushed lightly. And lastly, 1 vote for Midoriya. Me. I got a vote. Midoriya pointed to himself, but I'm so plain looking, he really couldn't believe one of the girls from his class had voted for him. Oh, that one is from Uraraka, Mineta said, his heart crushing hopeless. No one said a thing, but they all smiled at the thought of their classmates being together. Yu Uraraka-san voted for me. He couldn't believe his best friend considered him the cutest boy in class. He couldn't believe his crush considered him to be cute. As he started to mutter his thoughts in a low voice, Kaminari again broke the silence. You guys think we should vote for a cutest girl too? Shoto looked at him as if he had said something very stupid. Why would we? Todoroki is right, said Iida. We could hurt a female classmate's feelings. Yeah, and besides that, we all know Yaoyorozu is the cutest girl in all the school, Todoroki declared, almost triumphantly. The class became a war zone, again, back at the dorms. It's gone. What do you mean it's gone? The list, someone took the list. Those were the things Bakugo could hear from the kitchen. The girls had returned from their lunch, and had noticed that their little list had disappeared. Normally Bakugo would ignore them and continue eating his sandwich, but he was in a bad mood for not getting any votes, and for being mocked by the whole class. Putting down his plate he stepped out of the kitchen, and saw the girls desperately knocking on the boys' doors. They're not here, he said, grabbing the attention of the girls. They're still at the classroom doing their shitty Friday chat. Ah. Bakugo, do you by any chance see a piece of paper here in the couch? It's. Ah. Our shopping list. Momo said with a lot of worry on her voice. Cut the shit, I know you ranked us like we were a pack of dogs. He was angry, but he was going to get a good laugh out of this. So, that means you know where it is. Uraraka came from behind Momo and asked. She seemed even more worried than everyone else. Of course I know round face. Where is it? Jiro came running down from the second floor. Where's the list? Bakugo was already smiling at the thought of the boys being found out. Wheel, the grape-headed idiot stole it. Mineta. The girls screamed in unison, and ran as fast as Iida towards the classroom. Chaos ruled in the classroom of the 1A class. When the girls voted, they gathered in the sofas, each voted and everyone heard everyone's vote. It had been swift and calm, save for the moment Ochako voted. The boys on the other hand were now behaving like monkeys fighting over a fruit. Momo sure is cute, but she has nothing on Jiro. Kaminari felt offended that Todoroki would declare Momo not only cutest in class, but in the whole school as well. Don't say such foolish things, you guys. We all know that Tsuyu is best girl. Tokiyami had joined the discussion. Yeah, no girl on this place can equal her. Even Dark Shadow agreed, which meant Tokiyami's vote counted for two. Some of the boys, namely Ojiro who couldn't argue a thing, Shoji who didn't like arguments, and Siro, who felt too defeated to even say a thing, decided to leave the room before things got even more heated. As the argument inevitably heated up, Midoriya inevitably lost himself on a train of thought. Uraraka-san thinks I'm cute. Me cute. Me, the plainest looking guy on class. He was half panicked and half happy about the revelation. After all, he couldn't believe that Uraraka, the girl he had a crush on, considered him not only to be cute, but the cutest guy in class. Mina is the queen of this classroom. Kirishima screamed at the top of his lungs, trying to drown the yelling of his other classmates, in vain. I'm telling you guys, Jiro is the best girl. Kaminari yelled at him rather aggressively. Suyu is even better. Dark Shadow and Tokiyami yelled in unison. Yaoyorozu. Jiro. Momo. Mina. Calm down, all of you. Iida was still there, trying to make his classmates behave. As things got even louder, the girls arrived at the classroom. They had learned what was happening in the room when they meet with Ojiro, Shiro and Shoji on their way to the place. As Mina kicked the door open, Jiro screamed at the top of her lungs. Where is it? Where is the list? The boys were arguing so loud that they didn't notice the girls at the door. Only Kirishima noticed and went to talk with them. Oi Mina. Thanks for voting for me. He said. No problem. That's what horn buddies are for. That's enough, Todoroki. If I hear you one more time saying that Yaoyorozu is cuter, no, more beautiful than Kyoka, I'll thunderbolt you. Jiro took a step back, her face as red as a tomato. She was about to go there and beat the shit out of Kaminari, when Mina held her back. Wait, I want to see where this goes. What? Why? Oh, just, shush you. Ochako stepped into the classroom, her eyes looking for any clue of Deku. He wasn't arguing with the other boys, instead, he was lying on the floor speaking inaudible things to himself. Momo is not only beautiful but also smart. Todoroki yelled at Kaminari. Kyoka is even smarter. Pikachu wasn't backing on his word. Suyu is not only best and smartest girl, she's the sweetest. Momo has the biggest bow. Mineta was about to yell something inappropriate before Todoroki knocked him. The girls couldn't help but to stare wide-eyed and red-faced as they heard the boys arguing about who was the cutest of them. Midoriya, who was still lying on the floor, suddenly jolted up, his face filled with determination, for while lost on his thoughts, an epiphany had hit him. The whole classroom went silent for a second, and in that very moment, Deku's voice filled everyone's ears. Uraraka Ochako is not only the cutest, smartest and sweetest girl in the classroom, she is the best in the whole round world. Silence. Everyone in the room looked at Deku wide-eyed. Nobody moved a muscle, until Mina broke the silence. "I knew it," she yelled full of joy. Deku became as red as the sun. Ochako started floating with her hands on her face. After things calmed down, Jiro went to Kaminari and grabbed him by the wrist. First she slapped his face, then she took him out of the classroom. When he came back, his brain had short-circuited. "Wee," he said, as he gave a thumbs up. Momo couldn't handle Todoroki's compliments, so she ran out of the classroom, and he followed after her. Tokiyami realized all the things he had said and too left the classroom. Suyu went behind him. Mina and Kirishima high-fived and cheered. Toru went looking for Ojiro and Mineta was still lying unconscious on the floor. "You Uraraka-san, please come down." Iida tried talking to his friend, but all she could say was, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god." After some minutes of shock, they both directed their attention to each other. "Deku-kun. Uraraka-san. I'm really sorry for saying that, it's just that I got super happy when I realized that you, my crush, considered me the cutest boy in class and..." Again he realized what was he saying. He was about to say something again when Ochako, moved by his cuteness, kissed him on the lips. Mina cheered even louder. Iida cried tears of joy. Kirishima declared how manly that was, an Aoyama. Well, Aoyama wasn't there. Instead they found a stick of butter with a little hero costume on, but oh well. And so it was, that through the list of the girls of Class 1A, that Deku and Ochako started dating. Where stories live. Discover now.